I'm Megan, and we are getting back to the basics. Bitch! Today's workout is all about connecting our extremities to our back. So specifically, we're gonna be moving our arms without straining the shoulders. And this is a really good workout to incorporate throughout the workday so that you're getting yourself on your feet, moving around and connecting to your core in a way where you are working your posture muscles and keeping those back muscles strong. So you don't really need any props for today, but we are going to use something to place our hands on for some extra support. I just have a chair. I think we all have that somewhere, either in the office or at home. So just grab one and let's get moving. Okay, so just standing in front of the chair, lightly drape your fingertips over the back of the chair. Have your weight mostly in your heels with a soft bend in your knees. First thing that we're gonna do after sitting for a long period is extend those hips. So keep a soft bend in those knees and your weight mostly in your heels. Push your butt back. So you're gonna fold in the crease of the hips to send the butt back. As you do that, I want you to feel like you are flaring space into the sit bones, and then swing the butt forwards. Again, folding in the crease of the hips to swing the butt back, opening in the crease of the hips to swing it forward. So you're not bending and extending the knees, you are simply hinging at the hips. And having the chair here just helps you to keep your balance while maintaining your weight in your heels so that you can hinge at those hips the way that you need to here. 5 more. For 5, push and pull. For 4, last 3, for 2, then push it back, hold, walk those feet back a little bit more so you can now straighten those arms with your hands resting on the edge of that seat, on the back of the chair. From here, take an inhale and squeeze into your armpit. So find the bottom tip of the shoulder blade on either side, okay? And continue to squeeze into that as you hover your left hand off of the chair and then lower it back down. Again, squeeze down into the armpit and into the shoulder blade before you lift the hand. Just hover it off of the chair and then lower it back down. Again, exhale to lift and inhale to lower. So the arm is moving, but you really shouldn't feel any work in that arm. You're connecting that motion to the core. So you're finding the connection that the arm has to the core, and then you're intensifying that connection to lift the hand. We have 5 here. For 5, keep flaring into those sit bones. 4, from crown of the head to tip of the tail, you should feel like you are active. That spine is long, okay, and it is taut. Last 2, 1 more. And then other side, squeezing into that right armpit. You'll lift that hand, hovering it off of the chair and then lowering it back down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Really flaring into those sit bones here. Any pain in the low back means that you're just kind of sticking that butt up a little, that tail up a little too high. So don't be afraid to kind of tuck that in a little if you are straining in there, because we want to find those lats, that serratus, maybe even a little low trap. Okay, connect this to the armpit and to the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. 5 here. For 5, exhale. 4, last 3, for 2, 1 more time, up and down. Now from here, take a nice inhale, exhale, both hands up and down. Again, finding the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. So since we're doing both hands at the same time now, you should feel this all the way across the bra line, squeezing into that spot as you lift those hands up. We have 5. Exhale, 4, for 3, last 2. Now hold them up there and just flutter those arms. One lifts higher than the other, and then switch, and switch, and switch. So now this especially should feel like your entire posterior chain, from the crown of the head all the way down to the tail, is active. Okay, so you're keeping all of that on. You're keeping that sensation of pressing down through the heels. Weight is in those heels. You're flaring those sit bones while connecting this motion of the arms to your back. We have 3, and switch. Last 2, and switch. One more each way, and switch. And then go ahead and stand yourself all the way up and shake that out. So by the end of that, that should have felt pretty intense. We can always add things like resistance bands and props to intensify that, but you really want to get the foundations down first. Okay, so we're going to come back to the start of that and put it all together, okay, just simultaneously, no breaks. So standing up tall, weight is in the heels, you have a soft bend in those knees, drape those fingers over the back of that chair, swing the butt back, folding in the crease of the hips, and then swing it forwards. Let's go 8. Swing it back, and then swing it forward. 7. Notice how my knees aren't really changing much. They stay as is, and I'm working from that hip to hinge my butt back. For 4. Last 3. 2. Then hold it here. Walk yourself back a little bit so you can straighten those arms more, keeping that light finger grip on the back of the chair. Squeeze into the left armpit as you hover that hand off of the chair and lower it down for 8. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Notice how the top of my shoulder is not clenching up into the ear. The more that you can pull down into the shoulder blade as you're lifting the hand, the less likely you are to lift the top of the shoulder. Last 2. And 1, and then other side. Squeezing into that right bottom tip of the shoulder blade, hovering that hand. 6 here for 6. Weight is in those heels. You have a soft bend in those knees. 4. Exhale, 3. Last 2. And 1. And now hover both hands up and down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. For 6. Woo. Last 5. Still flaring those sit bones. 4. Weight is in those heels. 3. Almost there for 2. Hold it here and lift one arm and then the other. 8. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Make sure you're gazing at the floor. For 4. 3. Almost there for 2. One more each way. And then come all the way back up to standing. Shaking that out. I want to add a little bit more movement to that, and I want to omit the chair, okay? So if the chair is something that you feel like you really need for this series, then go ahead and keep using it. Otherwise, to make it a little bit more challenging, we're going to omit. Coming back to the start of that series, weight is in the heels, soft bend in the knees. Push your butt back, folding in the crease of the hips, and reach your arms, both of them, up by your ears, and then lower the arms by your sides as you swing the butt forwards. Again, reach and return. 6 here for 6. And 5. Feeling the bottom tips of those shoulder blades. Connect to that spot and control the arms from there. 4. Hinging that butt back, keeping the weight in the heels, soft bend in those knees. Last 2. Then hold it here and just lower that left arm down and then squeeze underneath the arm to lift it back up for 8. Lower and lift. 7. If your neck is bothering you at all, just pull your chin down a little bit more. That'll lengthen the back of the neck so that you're not clenching there. 5 here for 5. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. For 3, exhale. Last 2, exhale. One more. And then other arm, lower that right arm down, exhale, lift it up. Whole back line of the body should feel active. You should feel like you're connecting from the top of the spine all the way out through the tail. 4 here for 4. Bottom tip of the shoulder blade, 3. Keep flaring those sit bones, 2. And 1, hold. Now we're gonna scissor the arms, big sweeping scissors. Reach and switch, 8. 7. 6. Exhale, 5. Tops of the shoulders are away from the ears, 4. 3. Last 2. 1 more each way. 1 and 1, and come all the way back up. Okay, definitely feeling that one. So this is a really great workout to mix in throughout the day. I would do 3 sets of 8 for each of those. If you want to start with your hands on the chair and work your way up to no hands, it's a really great way to add some variety, so you can do it a couple times throughout the day and really focus on connecting to that back to help restore core power and posture. As always, from one basic B to another, I got you.